fan. Squeaky clean. $21. I wish I had a fancy little shaker, like a little miniature 5-gallon bucket shaker. Little miniature 5-gallon buckets that are like reusable seal tops that I could put in there, and it would just like shake, 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 Sonora, shake it all about. Just saying. That would be cool as fuck. Oop, I lost about 0.1. Pretty sure it's right there. I always take these from the inside. I've already cleaned this, so I've already cleaned this. Really not worried about it. Time to pause. Now I probably have the world's smallest paint booth here, so bear with me. Gonna get you in the right spot. Mixed up all of that just for that one little thing. But that's alright. I'd rather have too much than too little, you know what I mean? That's how I look at life. I'd rather have too much than too little. Because too little really just goes wrong. Every time. So now we're going to do some cleanup. So I am flash baking that real quick because we're going to do an FX Hunter with the clear coat over the top of it. We've got to clean up our stuff here. And since that has to bake for like 20 minutes, we have plenty of time to get this stuff cleaned up. I don't know. Let me rotate this just a smidgen. We gotta clean our gun too. And make sure this stuff doesn't like dry onto the glass. Essentially, I've noticed that it will stain. There's always going to be like a little residual left over. It's like no matter what you do, there's always that hint of color. So I make sure that I suggest, like, you should always have a specific piece of one of these little bottles per color. Unfortunately, if you change your guns and the mounting doesn't quite match up, then you have to buy new glass every time. If you're using an airbrush system, they tell you got to use a high velocity 8mm or 8.08mm, something like that, spray nozzle, automotive paint. I don't have an auto shop to do that in, so this is a high velocity 0.08mm needle on my gun over there. So it does technically meet all their technical standards, but it's not an automotive paint gun. It's just airbrush. So I run a bunch of acetone through the gun real quick because I want to clean it off, clean it out, clean up the straws. This little one, that's all that has in it. I just keep acetone in that just so I can run it through the gun. keeps me from like cross-contaminating that. It does help clean up really well. But I also will I Q-tip out where the connection is there, because it will always get, you'll see it always gets a little bit on that joint, and that almost never works its way out. So do that twice, just cleaning out that joint, making sure there's no residual left in there. It's pretty good. And then we'll hit it one more time with the acetone through the gun. And then it's clean. And then it is clean. And the line is clean. It doesn't have any residual in it, so I don't have to worry about that. And now we're back to a clean setup. Now, the pearlescent effect that we want, grab one more of my rags here. The pearlescent effect that we're going for will hopefully come out really well. If not, I don't think this video will ever make the airways, you know. But hopefully it will come out super well. We're gonna get, see, that's what didn't just wash out. So we're gonna make sure we get this nice and clean. I spent more time cleaning all of this stuff in between each individual session than I do actually like airbrushing this stuff on, which this part is basically why we end up charging, or I end up charging so much for what I'm doing. Because, you know, it needs to be really clean, like the whole thing. So give you a quick pause and then we'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I just started cooling off from the flash bake because I got to let it cool down a little bit before I can handle it. But while we're waiting for it to cool down, I can mix this up, because by the time I get done with this, I should be able to handle that. So we're going to go ahead. So that is 0 tare weight. I really love that. We're going to go for about 10 grams here because I don't want to make too much of this. Well, okay, so 13. Let's make that 14. If we can. Come on, register the weight. Okay. I'm going to stop right there because I almost knocked it over, because I know that that's not right. I don't know why. We're going to go ahead, calculate out for 14. We'll see why in a minute. So we got to do 0.98 So this stuff is the FX, and this is designed, this little container, I don't know if my little thingy will fit in here, perfect, is designed to be used with an entire bottle of like one of the littler bottles of this stuff. Anyways, obviously we're not using a whole bottle, so we're not going to use a whole container of this. One scoop from the old golden spoon there. That's all I use it for. That's all I use it for. One scoop from the old golden spoon there, and then we need catalyst. So we got to do 0.98 or 1 in the catalysts. So I imagine someone somewhere would be like, oh, and we'll mix this up. Look how pretty that gets so quickly. Oh, makes me think maybe I did it right. So the whole point of this is you put this over that graphite black, and it's supposed to make it really pretty. And I feel like hopefully that's just the right amount. Really important that you get the right amount. I don't know who's calling me at 9 a.m., but fuck that shit. So again, take the one from the inside. We're going to grab our little container here. We're going to pour it in. Throw that in the trash. Put the lid on it so it doesn't dry. Now real quick, because I still want to give that some time to cool off over there before I paint it. Oh look, spam. So now we have our pearlescent. Let's go see how it does. I tried to clean off my glass top, my little paint booth here, but it doesn't clean off very well. So for the purpose of what we're doing, we're not worried about painting the backside because that will never be seen when it's on the gun. What we're worried about is just getting the front side. So this is going to get loud because I have to turn on the vacuum. Here we go.